If you're quiet, the master won't see you or hear you. We can sneak in and watch him work.
Welcome miniature fans, today we have the Stone Golem by WizKids Games. I have 6 of these to paint, and today's paint is super fast and super simple. I'm going to show you how to make your base and paint this golem to really give a nice stone effect. So let's get these out of the box and take a closer look. Okay then, so I've used some liquid super glue and I've stuck my stone golems to their little bases. So what we're going to do now is we are going to add some gravel to the bases for texture and to add rocks all around those bases. Now what I've got here is a little box of sand from the beach, and what I've done here is I have washed this sand in water a few times to take any excess grit and dirt away from the stones, so you've got just nice clean sand and tiny little stones from the beaches. Now I've also got the blister packs that the stone golems come in, so what I'm going to do is I am going to use some PVA glue, and I'm going to add the PVA glue to the pot, and then we can use that to stick the stones to the base. Okay then, so I've got a manky old brush and I'm putting on some PVA glue, and we're just going to go around the base, just working our way around the base with this glue. Nice and simple. Nice thick coating of PVA glue. Right to the edges. Then all we do is we go into our little tub of sand and stones. Tap off the excess. Go around the edge with your thumb to take away any excess stones and keep it nice and neat. And there we are. That's your base ready for painting. So I'll do that with all my other miniatures and then we'll come back. Okay, so all my bases are dry now. All the stones are nicely stuck to the bases. What we need to do now is paint the whole miniature in one single colour, and I'm going to use Neutral Grey by Vallejo. So I shall paint every single one completely and come back when that grey has been added. Okay, so you've got your grey and it's completely covered the whole area of the base and the miniature. Now what we do is we go over the whole area with our black ink wash. This is Vallejo black ink wash, and I will cover the whole miniatures with the ink wash. Simple as that. I'll come back once that ink wash has been added. Now we come to the fun part, and that's the dry brushing. I'm using a huge brush by Army Painter as my dry brush, and I've also got some Silver Grey by Vallejo. Now this is perfect for dry brushing onto your miniature and giving an instant stone effect. So we just take off the paint on our tissue and we go over the whole miniature, nice and fast and easy, and everything will just pop into life. Super fast, super easy. It gives an instant look of stone. And there we are. I'll do all these and we'll come back to the next stage. So all our dry brushing has been finished, and already it looks fantastic. It's definitely got the stone effect that you're looking for in your games. So you can either stay as it is and use this as in your games, and it looks perfectly acceptable for your tabletop games, but we can go one step further with the dry brushing, and I'll show you that today. So all we need is some olive drab by Vallejo, and once again is exactly the same as I just showed you before. Let me just move this camera back a bit. There we go. Same as I showed you before, we got the large dry brush. We're going into the olive drab, taking it off, and what we're going to be doing is slowly putting a tiny bit around on the rocks and onto the miniature. This will just add a little bit of aged effect to the rock, the stone, and make it look worn and a little bit mossy. Don't need a lot, but just enough to highlight certain areas where moss and grassy places are on that miniature, just like so. That's all you need to do, just a tiny bit here and there, and you're good to go. Beautiful. Just makes all the difference, but it makes the stone look like it has moss on, growing all over it. And there we are. I'll do that with the rest of the minis, and I'll come back. So here we are. I think these are perfectly acceptable for your tabletop games. Absolutely simple to do, and a fantastic miniature to paint because they're so easy, and it's fantastic for a beginner to start off with. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint these to a little bit higher standard, add a bit of flocking, and then I will show you them on my turntable at the end of the video. So here are the finished stone golems. I added some grass and just painted around the rims of the base and just tidied up the miniature with a little bit more of the dry brushing. Now you can buy these WizKids miniatures from the UK, and if you become my patron, you can get a 10% off all the miniatures by Mighty Lancer Games. Now Mighty Lancer Games is a fantastic web shop, and they have their own personal shop, but if you go to their web shop you'll get a 10% off all their miniatures just by becoming my patron. The link is below the video. So there we are. This is today's miniature paint for WizKids Miniatures. If you enjoy what I'm doing, then please hit that sub button. If you want to support the channel, then again please become my patron. All patrons are added to the end credits of all my videos. So until next time.
Goodbye, my fellow ones. Sleep well. Dream of evil paintbrushes.